The automatic doors of Mercy General Hospital flew open as Olivia Brooks rushed inside, carrying her 5-year-old son. "Ethan! Ethan, stay with me!" she cried. The little boy's body shook violently in her arms. His lips were turning pale. His breathing came in short, terrifying gasps. People in the waiting room turned to stare. A nurse jumped from behind the desk. "Ma'am, what's happening?" "He can't breathe," Olivia shouted. "Please, please help my son." The nurse immediately called for a crash team. Within seconds, 2 medical staff members rushed over with a wheelchair. Olivia carefully lowered Ethan into it. His small fingers clung desperately to her sleeve. "Mommy," he whispered. "I'm here, baby. I'm right here." But inside, she was falling apart. Just 30 minutes earlier, Ethan had been laughing while building a toy spaceship in their apartment. Then suddenly he'd collapsed. Now she wasn't sure if her son would survive the night. As they rushed toward the emergency department, 1,000 terrifying thoughts raced through her mind. What if she was too late? What if something happened to him? What if she lost the only person she had left? Because Ethan wasn't just her son. He was her entire world. The nurses pushed Ethan into an examination room. Monitors were attached. Oxygen was administered. Doctors were paged. Olivia stood frozen beside the bed, watching strangers fight for her son's life. Then the door opened, and her entire world stopped. A doctor walked into the room. Tall, Dion. Dark hair. Broad shoulders. Calm eyes. The clipboard slipped from Olivia's trembling hands. "No," she whispered. The doctor looked up. Confused. Professional. Like he'd never seen her before. But Olivia knew that face. She knew every detail of it. She had once imagined growing old with that man. 5 years ago she had loved him more than life itself. And according to everything she'd been told, he was supposed to be thousands of miles away. Dr. Nathan Reed. The father of her son. The man who had disappeared without a single explanation. The man Ethan had never met. For a moment, neither of them moved. Nathan stared at her. A strange expression crossed his face. Not recognition. Something else. Like a memory trying to surface. Then it vanished. "I'm Dr. Reed," he said calmly. "I'll be taking care of your son tonight." The words hit Olivia like a punch. Your son. If only he knew. Nathan moved toward the bed. His attention focused entirely on Ethan. What happened? Olivia struggled to find her voice. He collapsed. He couldn't breathe. Nathan nodded and quickly began examining the child. His movements were precise, experienced, confident. Olivia couldn't stop staring. 5 years. 5 years of unanswered questions. 5 years of wondering why he'd vanished. 5 years of raising Ethan completely alone. And now he was standing right here, touching his own son. Without realizing it, Nathan listened to Ethan's chest. His expression immediately changed. Severe respiratory distress. He pressed a button. "I need a breathing treatment now." Nurses rushed into action. The room filled with urgency. Olivia grabbed Ethan's hand. "You're okay, sweetheart." Ethan nodded weakly. Then his tired eyes drifted toward Nathan. The little boy stared. Longer than normal. Almost studying him. Nathan noticed. A small smile appeared on his face. "Hey, buddy." Ethan blinked. "You sound funny." Nathan laughed softly. "Do I?" The boy nodded. Then said something that made Olivia's blood run cold. "You sound like the man in Mommy's videos." The room went silent. Nathan's smile disappeared. Olivia's heart nearly stopped. Nathan slowly turned toward her. "What videos?" Ethan looked confused. "The ones Mommy watches when she thinks I'm sleeping." Olivia felt sick. 5 years ago, Nathan used to send her video messages whenever work kept them apart. She'd saved every single one. Sometimes, when loneliness became unbearable, she still watched them. Nathan stared at her. Something flickered behind his eyes. Something dangerous. Something familiar. "Have we met before?" he asked quietly. Olivia opened her mouth. No words came out, because at that exact moment, a nurse rushed into the room carrying a file. "Doctor, we found something unusual in the child's records." Nathan took the folder. His eyes scanned the page. Then suddenly he froze. His face went completely white. Slowly, very slowly, he lifted his head and looked directly at Olivia. "That's impossible." Olivia's stomach dropped. "What is it?" she whispered. Nathan swallowed hard, then looked at Ethan, then back at Olivia. And what he said next threatened to destroy everything she thought she knew about the last 5 years. Nathan continued staring at the medical file. His face had gone completely pale. Olivia's pulse pounded in her ears. "What is it?" she asked again. Nathan looked from the paperwork to Ethan, then back to Olivia. "This blood type." His voice sounded distant. "The child has a rare genetic marker." Olivia frowned. "What does that mean?" Nathan hesitated. "It means one of his biological parents carries it too." The room felt smaller, colder, more dangerous. "And," Olivia whispered. Nathan swallowed. "I have the exact same marker." Silence. For a moment, nobody moved. Even the machines seemed quieter. Nathan looked stunned, like his own mind was refusing to process what he had just read. Ethan coughed weakly from the bed. Both adults immediately turned toward him. The moment shattered, but the question remained. Could it really be a coincidence? Or was something much bigger happening? An hour later, Ethan's breathing had stabilized. The emergency treatment was working. For the first time that night, Olivia could breathe again. Nathan returned after finishing with another patient. This time he wasn't carrying medical equipment. Only questions. A lot of questions. He sat across from Olivia. Neither spoke for several seconds. Finally, Nathan broke the silence. "How old is Ethan?" Olivia already knew where this was heading. 5. Nathan's jaw tightened. "What month was he born?" She answered. The color drained from his face. The timeline matched perfectly. Exactly. Too perfectly. Nathan leaned back. A strange pain flashed across his eyes, as if something deep inside him was trying desperately to wake up. "I know this sounds crazy," he said. "But when I look at you..." He stopped. "What?" "I feel like I should know you." Olivia looked away. 5 years of heartbreak crashed through her chest. "You did know me." The words escaped before she could stop them. Nathan froze. The room suddenly felt charged with electricity. "What does that mean?" Before Olivia could answer, Ethan spoke from the bed. "Mommy." She rushed over. "What is it, sweetheart?" The little boy pointed toward Nathan. "Why are you crying?" Nathan touched his cheek. Only then did he realize there were tears in his eyes. The next morning, Ethan was much better. The danger had passed, but a new storm had begun. Nathan couldn't stop thinking about Olivia, or Ethan, or the strange feeling in his chest. It was driving him crazy. Finally, he made a decision. He went to hospital archives, old employee records, old photographs, old event files. Anything that might explain why Olivia looked so familiar. Hours later, he found it. A photograph from 6 years ago. A charity fundraiser. Nathan stood frozen. His hands started shaking, because standing beside him in the picture, smiling, laughing, holding his arm, was Olivia, the woman he supposedly had never met. What the hell? His voice barely came out. At that exact moment, another memory flashed through his mind. A beach, a sunset, a woman laughing, the smell of ocean air, an engagement ring, then pain, a splitting headache, and darkness. Nathan grabbed the desk to stay upright. Something was very wrong. Someone had lied to him. That evening he returned to Ethan's room. Olivia immediately knew something had happened. Nathan placed the old photograph on the table. Neither spoke. The answer was sitting right there. Between them. Nathan's voice cracked. "Who are we?" Olivia felt tears fill her eyes. 5 years. 5 years she had waited for this moment. Yet, now that it was here, she was terrified. "You really don't remember?" Nathan slowly shook his head. Olivia looked down at the photograph, then whispered, "We were engaged." Nathan stopped breathing. "And Ethan?" Olivia's tears finally fell. "Ethan is your son." The words hit like an explosion. Nathan stumbled backward. His entire world shattered. Every missing piece, every strange feeling, every unexplained emotion. Suddenly it all made sense. But one question remained. One horrifying question. "If I had a fiancé?" His voice trembled. "If I had a son?" He looked directly into Olivia's eyes. "Then who kept us apart for 5 years?" Olivia closed her eyes. Because she already knew the answer. And somewhere deep inside, Nathan was beginning to remember the name too. The name of the person who had stolen 5 years of their lives. Nathan couldn't sleep. The words echoed through his mind all night. "Ethan is your son." Every time he closed his eyes, fragments of memories appeared. A beach proposal. A tiny apartment. Olivia laughing. A positive pregnancy test. Promises. Plans. A future. Then, nothing. 5 entire years erased. And someone had done it on purpose. The next morning, Nathan sat alone in his office. A headache pounded behind his eyes. Suddenly another memory crashed into him. A hospital room. Bright lights. Pain. His stepfather, Victor Hayes, standing beside his bed. Nathan's heart stopped. He remembered. After a serious car accident 6 years ago, he'd suffered a traumatic brain injury. When he woke up, his memory was damaged. He couldn't remember months of his life. Victor had told him something that changed everything. "Olivia left you. She didn't want this life anymore. She moved away. She never loved you." At the time, Nathan had believed him. He had no memories to prove otherwise. And Victor had controlled every aspect of his recovery. Every visitor, every phone call, every message, everything. The realization hit him like a train. Victor hadn't protected him. Victor had manipulated him. Meanwhile, Olivia was helping Ethan pack for discharge. The little boy was excited. He felt much better. But Olivia's mind was elsewhere. Years of pain were finally beginning to make sense. Then the hospital room door opened. Nathan walked inside. His eyes were red, like he'd been crying. Olivia immediately knew. He remembered, at least part of it. "What happened?" she asked softly. Nathan looked at her, then whispered, "I know who took me away from you." Olivia's breath caught. Nathan sat down, slowly, carefully. Then he told her everything. The accident, the memory loss, Victor's lies, the blocked messages, the hidden letters, the deleted emails, the years stolen from both of them. By the time he finished, Olivia was in tears. Not because she was angry, but because for the first time in 5 years, she finally had the truth. Nathan had never abandoned her. That evening, Nathan drove directly to Victor's estate. The massive house stood like a monument to power and control. Victor wasn't expecting him. But Nathan wasn't there for permission. He walked straight into the study. Victor looked up from his desk. "Nathan, don't tell me." His voice remained calm. Too calm. Nathan placed an old photograph on the desk. The picture of him and Olivia Darcia. Victor's expression changed instantly. And that was all the confirmation Nathan needed. You lied to me. Victor said nothing. You stole 5 years from my son. Still silence. You stole 5 years from the woman I loved. Finally, Victor sighed, as though discussing a minor inconvenience. She wasn't right for you. Nathan stared at him. Disbelief, rage, heartbreak, all at once. You decided that? Victor stood. I built everything you have. I protected your future. Nathan's voice cracked. You destroyed my family. For the first time, Victor had no answer. Because there wasn't one. A week later, the truth came out publicly. Hospital records, deep recovery documents, witness statements, everything. Victor's reputation collapsed. But Nathan no longer cared about revenge. He cared about something else. Something far more important. His family. 3 months later, life looked very different. Not perfect. Not magically fixed. But real. Nathan didn't try to force himself back into Olivia's life. Trust had to be rebuilt. Slowly. Patiently. One day at a time. But Ethan made everything easier. The little boy absolutely adored him. Every weekend became an adventure. Baseball games, science museums, pancake breakfasts, movie nights. The moments they should have had years ago. One afternoon, Ethan sat between them in a park, watching ducks by the lake. Dad? Nathan smiled. The words still felt unbelievable. Yeah, buddy. Are you leaving again? Nathan's heart broke. Olivia looked away. The question carried 5 years of pain. Nathan knelt beside his son, then looked him directly in the eyes. No, dude. Ethan studied him carefully. Children always know when adults are lying. Nathan continued. I missed a lot of time. His voice trembled. But I'll spend the rest of my life making it up to you. For several seconds, Ethan said nothing. Then he wrapped his arms around Nathan's neck and hugged him as tightly as he could. Nathan closed his eyes, tears falling freely, because this was the moment he had unknowingly dreamed about for years. His son, his family, his second chance. As the sun began setting over the lake, Olivia stood beside them, watching father and son laugh together. A scene she had imagined thousands of times, yet never believed would actually happen. Nathan walked over. For a moment, neither spoke. Then he quietly asked, Do you think someday we can become a family again? Olivia looked at Ethan, then at Nathan. The road ahead would not be easy. Too much had happened. Too much pain. Too many lost years. But, for the first time, the future felt possible. A small smile appeared on her face. And sometimes, a small smile is all hope needs. As the three of them walked toward the sunset together, none of them knew exactly what the future held. But they knew one thing. No one would ever take their family away again. Subscribe my